And now hopefully it's more of a discussion. I want, obviously all four of you guys had different stories, different paths to Duke, and now want to focus on what it was like once you guys got here, which is, I'm sure, a little different for all of you guys because you have, a fall athlete, 3 spring athletes. And Mike, since you answered the last question, you're on my screen. What were the feelings coming into Duke? I know you had a great career at Princeton. You come into Duke during the pandemic, obviously with restrictions and social distancing. Kind of what were the first couple of weeks like when you got to campus?
Yeah, honestly, like I really didn't know what to expect. Like in some ways, like I felt like I was like, the oldest guy, like, obviously been through 4 years, and like in other ways, like I felt like a freshman all over again. And I think that like when you first get here, like you don't realize like how different it is, even like in terms of just like getting to practice. Like I think like, like at Princeton, like you don't even, but like I was almost in like autopilot. Like, I go to class, like you go to breakfast, you go to lunch, you walk to practice, like you walk home, and like you just get in this routine and like you don't even think about things. And I think that like when I got down here, it was just like, man, like it was just such a new experience. It was, I think that the guys certainly made that transition, super seamless. And, obviously the COVID restriction stuff made it a little bit more difficult. But, like from the first day, like I remember like Walshy texted me like, yo, like what day are you getting here? And like when I first got here, like me, him, and a couple other guys like went and grabbed lunch. And so like just like little stuff like that just like made the transition super seamless, and just kind of helped me settle in.
Right. Nice. And Ava, I want to go with you next. Obviously, everybody had a unique experience coming in, and it was different for everybody coming from a new place. You had another wrinkle coming from a different country. So what was it like for you?
Yeah, for me, it was also like really new, and I'm the oldest in the team, but I also felt like a freshman. And we had to quarantine for 2 weeks when I got here. So I was alone in an apartment, no car or anything. So I couldn't go anywhere. So that was like really weird for me. And also like, as I said, I've never been a student athlete before. So I never had to deal with practice in the morning and then running to class, that kind of stuff. So that's been really new for me too, but like good to experience.
And when did you get to Durham?
End of July. So
and then you guys are in season middle of August?
Yeah, I think end of August.
End of August.
Yeah.
So you came back, whereas the other 3 are spring athletes. They had some time to kind of settle in. They weren't right into the season. What was that like, where you get back or you get here and you have pretty much a month, and then you're right into the season? Did that make things more complicated, or did it make it easier because field hockey was something that you know?
I think it's easy because it's something I know, but it's hard because it's like a whole new team for me. I didn't know anyone in the team, and I didn't know how it works here with like going on trips to like 10-hour drives. That's like, my country is really small. I've never drove 10 hours for a game. So that's been like a real like new experience for me, but my team has helped me with everything and told me everything about it. So they really helped me with the whole process.
Great. Gabby, you're up next. What was it like for you when you got to Duke?
I think I owe a lot to the other 5th years. So there's 3 other grad students who they didn't transfer, but so they all did their undergrad here. So I like owe a lot to them and making me feel so comfortable. And I also can't imagine bringing in, especially just one grad transfer, bringing someone into the team and not really knowing her beforehand. And it's just, I can imagine it could be difficult. And I feel like they just welcomed me with open arms. And I am so grateful for that, because it was just a very seamless in terms of, I think, socially, which is really great. And then just little things like Mike was talking about. Even so at Penn, we walk everywhere. So like I walk to practice in the morning. It was a 10-minute walk, not a 10-minute drive to practice. So even that kind of stuff, or figuring out the laundry loops are different. Like I felt like a freshman in so many ways because of all these like just small things that you like Sowers was saying, you just don't realize how much in autopilot you are or how you do things as a team. So that's been just kind of fun to experience, and even like traditions and game day stuff. It's been really great. But yeah, at first it was definitely an adjustment, especially with driving everywhere. I would say that was one of the biggest things. And the Ivy League rules are a lot like the hours you get are way smaller. So adjusting to that in the fall was definitely difficult with how much we were able to practice. I loved it because I just want to be playing all the time, but I was also pretty tired.
Right. And Adler.
Yeah, so when I like found out it was like gonna be official and I got in and all that, I was actually like on a surf trip or on the East Coast, and I was living out of my truck. So I was in New Jersey, so I was like, you know what? I've never seen Duke, or I've been to Duke once in person, but it was very briefly. So I'm like, I gotta check this place out because I'm gonna be going here. So I drove through. I stopped for like 2 hours, kind of like walked around, and I was just amazed at like how beautiful it was and kind of like the tradition behind it, and it really sunk in kind of there. And then as I got closer, I started all the guys started reaching out to me, and that was awesome. And then upon getting here, it sucks because of the pandemic and you can't kind of do the things that you want to do, but the guys made it so easy, and the coaches, and I feel like Duke really saw it as an opportunity, and the coaches kind of, the one thing that they always preach was just, I want to make sure you guys are having a blast, and I've been having a great time. It's been cool just getting to know everybody's story, and as Mike and Gabby were saying, like, yeah, you felt like a freshman, just like having to put in the GPS like on your way to practice, like that's just weird, but it all worked out, and yeah, kind of just having a blast with it.